Hello, everybody. This is Nikki from Motherhood Unfiltered is going to be okay. And I had a interview scheduled, but the guest is in the middle of a storm and lost their power. So you're getting me by myself for the moment. I won't take too long, but I just wanted to kind of give an update on where I've been. Not where I've been. I'm not like lost or anything, but like where I am in my um, journey. So um, I have joined Podmatch about 6, 7 months ago, and up until then, I was like begging people to let me interview them, and most people that aren't interested in that didn't care about it, and or they were busy or they were afraid, in any reason they had it. So, which is fine. I only want to interview people who actually want, you know, to do it. So, anyway, so when I joined Podmatch, I just happened across it and I started like you fill out this form and then they have you fill out like a little course and they're small little courses and once you do that then you can they have a free account so you can go out there and um, you don't have to pay. That means you don't have to pay at all if you don't want to. But I started getting interviews, like people wanting me to interview them, be on my podcast, or me be on their podcast. And it has really taken off. And I have been so happy about it. So, so in the meantime, I'm doing 2 or 3, I call them meet and greets. So, um, they schedule a meet and greet for 15 minutes, come on, and we kind of just get to know each other. And usually right away, you can tell if this person is going to be a good fit, for your podcast. And, and then you kind of talk about the format and what you want them to talk about when we record. So, and then they can schedule an interview whenever they're ready. So that's the process that's been. In the meantime, because of that, um, it that has taken up more time. So at first, because when I was first in my scheduling, I wasn't getting that many takers. So I had like I was thinking, well, maybe it's because I don't have convenient hours. And so I opened up more time slots. And I mean, that wasn't the case at all. Um, so when I started getting, takers, then I was, it was like a part time job, and I, I was wearing myself out. So took, I redid my schedule to where it wasn't as often and and I wasn't filling up my entire lunchtime with the meet and greets and then or an interview, which I mean that takes I schedule 45 minutes, but you have to get ready for it. So and I felt like I didn't want to make my guests feel like they didn't have um, my full attention. So when you're on doing something on your lunchtime, then you're worried about, is this going to be done in time to get back to your regular work? So anyway, I redid that. So um, in the meantime, I have met some wonderful people, and they are all doing their own journey and just trying to be a better person themselves and to help other people. Um, and I really enjoy learning about that, and and I hope you do too. Um, so I say all that to say this. So my social media, you can't. Nobody's going to listen to your podcast if you don't tell them about it, right? And so I've been trying to be consistent with it. I feel like I try something and I think it looks okay, or it doesn't, and so then I try something different. And the thing about that is, um, like my number one goal is to have a mailing list. That way, if Facebook goes under, or Twitter goes under, or Instagram goes under, I still have, I'm able to still be in contact with people who are following, me, or following the podcast. Um, but the technology part of it makes me realize every day I'm not as young as I used to be because I remember being young and taking things apart, like my oldest son stuffed bread and juice in our VCR, and I didn't have money to go get a new VCR. I took that sucker apart and cleaned it, fixed it, and put it back together, and I didn't have any extra pieces left over. So, and it worked. I felt really proud of myself. The same thing with the TV. We had an old TV, and that when I we got it, it was 30 something years old. It was one of those old tube TVs, and a friend from work had given it um, to us, and it had quit working. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot afford to buy a new TV. I took it apart and got it working again. And we used that thing until it finally died and I couldn't do anything else with it. And the kids, they, watch their videos on it, they play games on it. And I just, and so it was like, I, I was better able to figure those things out when you're younger. So anyway, I digress. So learning how to put together a shop page, and learning how to do an email list, and learning how to edit a video, and I know I've said this before, when talking about different things, but if I put something out and it's less than 100%. Please forgive me. Oh Lord, the light just went off. This is my life. So let me turn it back on so we're not in the dark. There we go. Ta-da! So anyway, you know, um, I I want to put out good content. I feel like the messages that we're putting out, or I'm putting out, is good information. And I know that there's something out there for somebody. However, the technical part of it is less than 100% in my eyes. So, I just hope you be patient with me as I learn how to um, get better at the technical part. I did hire somebody to do the audio, but basically he just cleans it up. So um, if I totally screw it up, he can't fix my screw up. Sometimes there's just some things you can't fix. So, um, and then I'm working with another lady who is going to help me with emails. Um, so things like that are coming along. It's just taking longer than normal. So, however, I am excited that I now have like listener support for the podcast. So, um, if you follow me and want to help me with that, that um, will go a long way into helping me get someone else to do, the editing, especially for video. So, then the other thing I wanted to talk about, was the YouTube channel. So, um, yeah, I'm trying really hard. I've got so many videos that I want to put out, but being so distracted and trying to, and I'm doing better with the program that I uh, got a subscription to. It's Wondershare Filmora. I think that's the name of it. And I really like it. And I finally figured out um, different things, how to do overlays and voiceovers and things like that. However, just the minute details, like from transitioning and stuff, I am still working on that. So just please forgive me. And so now for YouTube, um, you have to meet criteria in order to get support. So, and I'm not on here to beg for money. I'm just saying that the work I've been putting in, um, the extra money would help with the stuff that I've been paying for to make things better. So, as we all know, there's overhead on everything. So, but anyway, did not I did want to talk about all that. So anyway, I hope that you're enjoying, watching the videos and listening to the podcast. Um, and I'm trying to make sure I'm consistent with my blog, because some people don't want to watch videos. Some people don't want to listen to anything. Some people are readers. So I completely understand all that business. But I do want to just, reiterate that, I started this whole journey from an incident I had with my middle son, and who I love, you know, so much. And um, so um, and he did not talk to me. It was almost a year. And I was just, I was devastated. But we're talking now, and things are, 100%, um, but I'm just, trying to be patient. So I was just so depressed, um, and so I reached out to my mentor, Melissa, who has really helped me so much. And she got me going, on this whole journey, kicking my butt all the way. And I still, work on things to make myself better. So in turn, I want to keep doing those things so that I can help you if you're in the same situation. And only someone who's going through what I've went through will understand. And when someone you love cuts you off from their life, and the the thing I wanted to do was just go and just talk it out, and when they don't they're not in the state of mind to reciprocate those feelings or those actions, you know, you're just there. It's like you're suspended in space, maybe, and you're just kind of floating and you can't really do anything. And so I thought, well, I got to do something. I got to do something. I can't continue to um, live like this, and be sad and depressed. I mean, I had no energy. I didn't want to do anything. And I didn't want to, take care of my house. I didn't want to do anything with my family. And I didn't want to cook dinner or, I just sat on my couch and felt sorry for myself. So, and you can't live like that. So so what do you do in that situation? I mean, yeah, you can go get on medication, which I was already, taking medicine. But so I started working on things that Nikki could control. So what are things that Nikki was having trouble with that she can control? So number one was, of course, um, myself. So the first thing I did was I scheduled an appointment with my doctor, and then talked about, not what happened, but that something had happened and how I was feeling. And so we made some adjustments on the medicine that really, started to help. Then the next thing was, I started, eating regularly. I started drinking my water again and making sure I was taking my medicine. I mean, if you go get medicine, you got to take it, you know. And so I started doing that, and it didn't happen overnight. None of this happens overnight. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. I'm just going to repeat that. It does not happen overnight. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep, if you get derailed one day, you know, if you get derailed for an hour, get through the hour and then you start over. Um, so again, and it's hard at first, but I promise it gets easier. It does get easier. And there are times when, and it's been almost 2 years now. And there are times when I don't even feel I don't feel myself, and so I don't want to do anything. Um, and so I don't, but when I'm feeling better, I get up and I go back at it again. And that's what you have to do. So the first thing I did was, I went saw the doctor. Now, if you don't take medicine and you don't want to take medicine, that's fine. But if you are depressed, there's nothing wrong with talking to your doctor about it. Okay. So, and the good thing about that is that um, it will give you a gauge. It'll give you a measurement where you are at that moment. That way, if things do get worse or get better, and the next time you are at the doctor, you've got that. Okay, so I'm back here again. I'm worse than I was before, and you have a starting point already to where you can go from. And that doesn't mean that if you go again that you're going to get medication. It doesn't, it doesn't mean that. So, um, but it is, or you can journal. Um, Writing down your feelings is so helpful. So, so again, take care of yourself. And then the second thing I did was, you know, what was stressing me out. There were things that was causing me stress besides the whole initial thing with, my middle son, but it was my house. So, um, you know, we've been in our house since 2008. And, I had all my boys here, my husband's here, and our animals are here. Well, two of boys, well, my middle son, he left. They leave and they don't take everything. I mean, what's up with that, kids, right? And so he left. Then my youngest son, who couldn't make up his mind if he wanted to come home or stay, go do his thing, you know. I think he left and came back 2 times, 3 times. But I mean, he hasn't been home for a long time now. But anyway, he left stuff here. And of course, I mean, I hadn't decluttered anything since I've moved here in 2008. I swear, I feel like the clutter in my house is like the gremlins after midnight. You know, you if you water it or feed it, they multiply. So, um, so I started, you know, so in my house, what was the number one thing that was causing me stress? Well, it was my kitchen, you know, and so I started there, and I just did one cabinet at a time. I started watching videos how other people did it, and that first load of stuff that I got rid of, I called a missions uh, nonprofit missions place out of Muncie, which is not too far from here, but they came and they do pickups. They came and picked it up. They had a um, I don't know what they're called, mid-size. It wasn't a semi, but it was like a half semi. Anyway, it was already half full, and my stuff filled up the rest of it. And um, you know, I just it was so, and some of it was so hard to get rid of. But I did the the Marie Kondo method, and um, I did all kinds of methods, but um, my the one thing that helped me make the decision to get rid of something was there is a family out there that does not have anything like this, and I know that they will be able to use it because some of the stuff I gave away out of my kitchen, I had, you know, 2 or 3 of the same item. You know, I had Tupperware items. I mean, some of it was brand new, and um, I had paper chef, and I mean, it was nice. I thought it was nice stuff, but I just wasn't using it. And I went through my clothes, I think 4 times now, and I think maybe I got some more that I'm going to go through again. But I got rid of shoes, and so anyway, Muncie Mission has been here. Um, 3 times? 2 times. No, 2 times. They've been here 2 times to get stuff. And um so it's just a process. And here I thought that I would be able to get through it in a weekend and be done with it. No. It is a continuous process. So, um so after the kitchen, I did my clothes, I did my books. That was a tough one. I did our bathroom. We have a small bathroom, and so everything I had was in there. So the bathroom is so much cleaner. And the thing of it is when you have less inventory, it doesn't take that long to clean something up. And there are surveys out there where people are spending the majority of their time cleaning up their inventory, like like it's a warehouse or a grocery store or a retail box store or something. This is supposed to be our home, where we can feel safe and be stress free. And if we have all the stuff that we don't need, then all it's doing is causing us more stress. So, but anyway, um, so it's just a continuous process. And then I think I've lost my train of thought, but so number 2 was what was stressing me out in my home. And then the other thing is just working on these things continuously. So, and it's like once you work on one thing, then something else that you're having issues with comes to light. So, which now I've been addressing my spending issue. Um, Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's better. And I've done things to try and prevent me from spending, you know. Um, so the one thing that's really helped is taking not saving our card information on our account. So like for Amazon or Walmart. So if you do buy something, you have to go get your card now. Most of the time, that's what most people do. But Nikki here had everything saved, written out, and you copy and paste it into the account. So I had to get rid of that too, because I use Google Keep, and I put all my notes in there, account information, everything's in there, and so I had to get rid of that too. And so it really makes it harder for me to go buy something because I would have to go either get on my laptop to get the information or go get my purse or my wallet to get it out. And I didn't, that takes more time, and I can count on my laziness to prevent me from going and doing that stuff. So I don't know if that's what a good tactic. I don't know, but I do have the procrastination going on. Anyway, so I'm sorry, guys. He's just stuck with my craziness. So then another thing that stresses me out was my friend. Oh my God, she's going to kill me. Uh, I forget the name of her. She doesn't have a podcast. She has a YouTube video. It's Pursuit Over Perfection, or happiness over perfection, or something. Oh my gosh, she's going to kill me. But anyway, she deals with decision fatigue. Okay, so, and I do too. So, okay, so when someone texts you and asks you a question and you're in the middle of doing something, and you're like, okay, I will just answer them real quick. Well, then it turns into this long conversation, but you don't have time for that. And so it's overwhelming for me. I don't know about you, but by the time I get done with what I in the middle I was doing, and by the time I get done with the text message, I'm ready to punch somebody in the face because I I can't do all this stuff again, you know. So what would help me with that? So the number one thing was I unsubscribed to all these text messages from all the stores, all the restaurants, because my phone was dinging every 2 seconds, and when I signed up for that stuff, I was like so afraid that I was going to miss out on a deal, right? Well, no. If we go out to eat or whatever, I go out to their website or their app. Excuse me. I go out to their website and see if they have any deals that are going on. I unsubscribe to all any shopping apps I had on my phone. I deleted them. I deleted my games on my phone because I have there were some games that I like to play that I was spending money on. Well, I can't do that because you know I'm not a millionaire over here, and I need to quit spending money. So I took all that off. I took my email off my phone. You you just disable it. So anything that was causing a distraction from my job, I took it off. So social media apps, I took them off. Now, um, I had them off for a while, and then I did add some things back, but I had to take a break from it. And I'm telling you, I had no idea that it was causing me so much anxiety just trying to keep up with all that stuff. Now, when we like do go out to eat and I want to order something, I just download the app. It doesn't take that long. Download the app. It remembers who I am because you sign in with Google or, Facebook. And I, they like, we did Burger King. I downloaded the app. They had a deal on there and I ended up saving almost $10 and getting extra stuff. And as soon as I went and picked it up, that night when I got home, I deleted it. So, I mean, whatever you need to do to keep that peace of mind, as Melissa, my mentor, would say, protect your peace. And so I don't want to do anything that's going to disrupt that. Another thing that I've been doing is like as soon as I would go down for, I work from home. So as soon as I would go on lunch or as soon as I would um, be off from work, I would go downstairs. I would get my phone. I would get my laptop and my TV. I'd turn everything on and start watching, listening to something and playing games, until my husband called or until it was time to do dinner or whatever. So I haven't been doing that. What I've been doing is, I mean, I might get on my phone or my laptop to like read my emails, but I haven't been turning anything on. I've been sitting there in quiet. And that has been so helpful. It's just having some quiet time. And some of the guests I've had on, my podcast talk about having those moments of quietness, moments of being still. And we definitely need to do that. So I did not realize Lord, it's a half hour. So I am going to wrap this up. But um, I hope that what I have been doing is helping somebody out there. And I hope that um, it is the information is making you a better person. You know, um, there's no sense, being here if we cannot be, better versions of ourselves. So, and I, definitely believe that we're never too old to learn something new. So, but I do hope that you will. Now, I do have a quiz. I call it a quiz. It's a survey, but it's kind of gauge. It's called Are You in a Funk? So if you're like, I don't know, you're lying to yourself because you do know, but it's like 10 questions. It's free. If you would like to have it, um, I'm trying to fix it to where you go to my website and click on it and you can download it. Um, but I would like to email it to you. So, but I don't, it's not working correct the way I want. But if you message me on Instagram, then I will um, mail it to you. So, right. So on Instagram, it's at McNickJack2, and which is that's something else I need to fix for social media, but I'm not even going to get into all that mess. But anyway, so message me on Instagram or Facebook and say, give me that free quiz, woman. So, and I will, give me your I'll get your email address and I will send it out to you. And it's free and it's super easy, but it will help you gauge where you are. If you are, yeah, I'm all right. Or if you're like 911, red alert, I need some help. So, anyway, thank you, everybody. And I will see you next time. Bye.